Hello folks, Bronco Bob here with Texas Best Used Motorcycles right here in Mansfield, Texas. Here today to show you a really beautifully equipped Can-Am. This is the Maverick X3 XRS. Those of you that are familiar with these know that's the turbo engine. It's a 3-cylinder powerhouse. And this one's had thousands of dollars in upgrades. The most notable upgrade is the selectable locker for the front, which you could not get the standard from the factory. Also, it has 32-inch sticky tires that have very little run time. Beadlock wheels. The shocks, the Fox shocks, they're internal bypass, and they've had the spring rates changed to give it a more pliable suspension. The windshield is an actual glass windshield. It's got the rigid rear view mirrors with the integral LED lights, overhead LED light strip, metal roof. This thing's Colorado ready, and the cage extends down to protect the front and becomes part of the bumper where the winch fair lead is. It's got rigid box lights on the front. And this unit has been used off-road, but it hasn't been used in the mud. So it's basically just like new. It's been taken to the sand dunes and driven on a few rock trails. It's got these fender extenders, it keeps the mud off you. Rock sliders on the side. A host of all kinds of lights. Got some really nice overhead interior lights. Backup lights, fog lights. Like we'll turn these switches on. Really nice seats, really nice harness style seat belts. It's got a rear air diffuser, kind of like a rear window. Good for cool weather. It's got the notable famous Can-Am suspension on the rear. You can see the engine case is all still real bright. The only damage on it is really a protective item. It has these trailing arms, and it's got these aluminum trailing arm guards. And they're scraped up from going over rocks, but they're doing their job protecting the trailing arms. If you wanted to pull those off, you could, and their trailing arms should look basically brand new. It's got a matching beadlock wheel spare tire. Again, a 32-inch sticky compound. Got a host of lights in the rear, backup lights, brake lights. There's your Fox reservoirs. You can see how this cage ties into a really nice rear bumper. And I like that the previous owner kept the stock exhaust. So it's relatively quiet and tame until you put your foot into it, and it's a beast. In fact, I'm gonna start it up. If anybody's ever driven one of these, it's kind of like driving a race car. You kind of sit down low, and man, does it have the power. It's only got 496 miles, and a lot of that is Colorado and sand dunes. You can see the LED light bar switch, the rear switch, rear lights. It's even got a hookup for a whip if you have some whips. And there's your locking differential for the front. You can see it lights up and illuminates. This also has turn signals, because if you go up to Moab, Utah, and if you have a tag on it, which this one does, you can drive them on the street up there. You can't really drive them on the highway, but you can take them around town, go eat. And they want you to have a horn and blinkers, but mainly they want you to have insurance and a tag. The tag doesn't go with it, you'll have to get your own, but you can now get them in Texas and various states for limited street use. But this one, if you've been looking at new ones and seeing what they're priced at, you could probably pay the same money for this one, but you're going to get several $1,000s in extras. Primarily the safety of it. The roll cage on this is a race style roll cage. It sits lower, a lot more protection. If you look at the roll cages on the factory units, they're pretty thin wall. I mean, they're functional, but this right here is like full-on overkill. But this engine's got the power to get up to speed. And if you're getting in trouble at speed, you really want a good cage. The suspension on this is just short of amazing. And it's just a really great unit. It was adult owned. The guy that owned it has several classic cars, and he just likes everything to be clean and super nice. He takes care of his stuff. So anybody that buys one of his vehicles gets the benefit of his handiwork. He's very good at sourcing components and putting together a really nice package. This one's turnkey ready, and you can buy it from us today. We're Texas Best Used Motorcycles, Mansfield, Texas. We can ship it anywhere in the USA or anywhere in the world. Give us a call and buy this little Can-Am before somebody else does. Have a great day. I'm Bronco Bob, wishing you happy trails.